Yo, this is not gonna be. This is not. Yo, this is a camera that's not gonna be in the frame. Whatever. I don't even know what I'm gonna say, to be honest. Alright. Yo, Daniel Rojas is me. It is October 15th, 2025. Currently, I am at $30 made in the month, 30 US dollars. Last month I made 230 US dollars. And basically, I have been pursuing this entrepreneurship route for, this is going to sound wild, 3 years. I know that sounds like terrible, $230, 3 years. And so I'm just going to basically tell you this quick story and just kind of like basically how my mind is kind of working right now. So hopefully you don't stay the same. Okay, look. So I like to think of all of this time as me building the foundation. But with that being said, it feels pretty shit because I'm not where I want to be. October 3 years ago was when I first had the dream of making $10,000 every single month. Now, in my life, I've gone through just a lot of pain. I always wondered if it was just like my what's the word, genetics that made me experience a lot of pain. But no, it was actually, I don't think it was my genetics. I think it was just the fact that deep down God had placed a higher standard for myself and for the kind of person that I could become. And I wasn't living to that higher standard. Now, I have overcome a couple things in my life, and this is why I also think that money is going to be one of those other things. When I was younger, I was very, very chubby. I was very fat. I did not have a good body, and I literally cried every single damn day because I did not have the body that I wanted. I was thinking like, okay, well, I should be having this like aesthetic Greek god body. I should look like a freaking superhero, because why not? Because, like, if I was given this body and I can't even look in the mirror without needing to look away, without having so much pain that I need to look away. And eventually I got super skinny. Then I was saying, oh, I need to put on muscle. And then I got and put on the muscle. I benched 325 pounds. I can squat 405 pounds. And these little things, like, I say them, and it might not sound like much, but then when you're actually doing these things, they feel like a lot, because it was never about, like, just lifting the weight up the bar. It was the fact of how far I've come. I used to cry every single night. I used to not be able to look in the mirror because I hated the way I looked, because I was just insecure like a little bitch. And there were periods in my life where I never spoke to a single person outside of my family, and I did not feel safe at home. I was going to therapy when I was like very, very young ages, like I'm talking like 7 years old, around those times. And I just had these problems. Like my parents were divorced, and I missed my father so much, and I felt like I needed guidance, but I also felt like he wasn't there, and I felt like I would be kind of a nuisance if I asked for stuff. And he always made sure to make me not feel like that, but the thing is, he just also wasn't there. And I've gotten so many things from my father that he does not even realize either. So I'm not complaining about these things. Because they're my life circumstances, things that are just shaping me, and I'm grateful for all of the pain I've experienced. But when I tell you, I went from having just no attention from girls, feeling horrible and like not secure in myself at all, having no confidence, not being able to speak at all. I've been doing YouTube for a couple years. When I first started doing YouTube, my sister would remember hearing me in the other room stuttering over my words, and in the way stuttering, but like I would repeat the same sentence over and over again. And it's like, if I just made a mistake right there, I would repeat that sentence over and over again. I would think eventually after 20 minutes in, I'd be like, oh shit, this is just a shit video. And so I just click off the video and I just like take out the video. And I would just be stuck there. I felt like my mind was blank. I didn't let things happen. And I was not a good speaker. I did not even have good relationships. I did not know anybody. I did not speak to anybody at certain points in my life. I literally was mute. People thought that I was like, that I just didn't speak because I just did not speak to people. It was like I had this freaking vow of silence because I don't even know what it was. I just felt like I just wasn't worth it. And it's so odd because I tell you this story and it's just some guy randomly on the internet, but I'm literally a real person. Like, I'm literally a real person that just had so much higher standards for himself, but freaking fucked himself over because he wasn't living to those higher standards. And it's so crazy because when I zoom out and look at my entire life, and I've seen myself overcome these things that I thought were never going to be things I could overcome. Building the body, getting the women, getting the friendships, all of these things, even getting the better grades in school, even like learning how to fight. I literally have fought 40-year-old men because I can Muay Thai and I freaking spar them. There were points where I felt like there was no escape. There were points where I felt like the problem I was facing would never be solved. And it's scary because it's so intangible for you to actually solve the problem that it feels like it's impossible for you to actually solve it. And you're wondering, especially the older you get, the more almost complicated the problems feel. It's weird because it almost feels like you won't grow out of these things. But how can I say this? Your Achilles heel is not necessarily your weakness forever. What you struggle with is somebody's lazy Tuesday. If I, like my current goal, because I'm a brokey, my current goal for the last freaking 3 years, and while of course being distracted, okay, yeah, I benched 325 pounds, I increased my bench like hundreds of pounds, my squat hundreds of pounds, I got my first girlfriend, and then my girlfriend freaking left me eventually at one point, and I had so much pain, and I had so many friendships, and so much just life experience over the last 3 years, because I was in high school, I had just started high school then, I'm 18 years old now, I'm broke, and I can, like, I know how to speak. I know how I've lived through certain things, certain pieces of advice. I've increased my testosterone. I've overcome the fear it takes when you're actually hitting someone. When you've gotten a 40-year-old hit you as hard as he can, and your hands are freaking shaking, and you need to actually adapt. Leveraging all of these things, my time with my part-time job, and all of these things together, and it's like you have this dream place in your heart, and it feels like the older you get, it's like the less hope you have because you've been knocked down way more times. But the thing is, it's like, I feel like really what separates people, what separates the absolute dogs, the actual winners, the guys that actually end up winning and getting to the goals, is the fact that they, no matter what, no matter how much they wish, no matter how much they ask God, please help me give up on this. Please take this out. Take this will out. The nights where you actually had zero hope left, but it wasn't even like it was you cheering yourself on, it was like something else. This is the question of when you get knocked down so many times. Perhaps you're knocked down so many times so you begin to recognize God. So you begin to recognize the strength that is given to you to get back up. Because you couldn't... Honestly, there's many times, I'm not sure if you can relate to me, but there's many times where you feel like you didn't have even the strength to walk, to even move your legs, because you were knocked down so freaking hard. And I mean psychologically, like there are times where you're crying so bad your legs don't even work. And somehow, it wasn't even you. You didn't have the strength to stand up, but something stood up for you. And yeah, sometimes I wonder, it's like, do these things happen so that we will recognize God? And this is kind of me rambling, I guess, but not exactly, because sometimes it's like you have these dreams, these ambitions, these goals for you to actually achieve, and perhaps they've been given to you by other people, but the fact of you saying, I want this, I want what I want, it's different from the actual emotion of you having it in your heart. You desire that place, that peace, that freedom from you getting there because you feel like it's going to give you that freedom. And like I'm telling you what, I wish it would. And I'm sure it will. So you can keep striving for it. You can. And I'll tell you what. It's really like what are you meant to learn here? What are the things you're meant to learn here? Because you could be struggling so much. You could be thinking, oh man, like how am I actually going to do this? You could be so afraid. And it doesn't really make a difference because in the end you're going to be on top anyways because you were struggling, sure, you were struggling. You couldn't freaking take off the fat. You took off the fat. You build the fucking muscle. You made the relationships. You got the girls. And the thing is, what the heck? What makes this problem so different? It's the importance that you've placed on the problem. Because, like, sure, you might even say, like, an example would be, like, I always would say, oh, like, I actually genuinely feel like money's not that important. There's so many things that are way more important, like the relationships you have in your life, like the actual impact you have on the world. And the thing is, the way you go about things is so interesting because even if you go about saying, okay, I'm going to just give as much value as I can to the world, it's interesting because at some point, what if the world doesn't want the value you have to provide? And then you're thinking, okay, well, you have to provide it in a different way. Sometimes you have to take different angles, different approaches. And you wonder if maybe you're just stupid because you can't solve all of these things. It's tough. It's really tough. And it's like, not just the concept of money. I feel like there's so many men that always concern themselves with money for so very long. And it's interesting because there are men that have solved that problem in their literal teens, not even in their 20s yet, making $30K a day. And then here you are struggling to make $10K per month. You need to understand that because it's just a wavelength. It's just like Mrs. Fatty can't get the weight off, can't get the muscle built, while this guy literally goes on cutting seasons, shredded seasons, bulking seasons, like it's just a regular thing. The guy makes $30K a day like it's a regular thing while you are struggling to make $10K per month. It's fucking crazy. Oh, man. I mean, you could say just North Star, just deliver value, deliver as much value as you can. You could. Life's going to get in the way. Just will. And I guess you could just concern yourself with becoming the kind of man that's capable of doing these things. And the thing is, there's many different ways of manifesting these kinds of things. It's like, oh, just detach. And manifesting is emotionally shifting towards a degree in which you are no longer emotionally reliant on seeing reality change. I've heard that before. And the thing is, sure, whatever works for you. But the thing is, it's whatever works. It's whatever works. All of these things, it feels like it's bullshit because I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for life to give me the results because I've been trying to just grab life by the nuts. Pause, by the way. No homo. But I mean, like, I might just be kind of frustrated right now. I've freaking posted for 3 years. And I honestly thought I was going to be at the 10K per month mark at some point, especially even by the end of high school. And it's weird because perhaps I'm just not approaching the situation at a correct lens. Because I'll tell you what. I don't understand why the 10K per month goal is so difficult. It shouldn't be. Like, you find, a gap in the market, you find a demand for a product you have. Either you teach someone to get to a new result, or you sell them something. You sell them whatever. You just get, like, let's say even like 200 people at $50. I'm pretty sure that's either like, that might be 10K. 200 people, $50. 10K. I'm pretty damn sure. Whatever the fuck. You can do the math. If you had 200 people every single month buying something for $50, then you should be good. And it's so odd because you really feel like, okay, well, you get the resources, you have the transformations, you can help people, you literally know you can help people. And then what? Maybe you have a marketing problem. Sure, you made maybe a good product that can get results, that can deliver results, that you have conviction in. Yeah, fine. But and with all of this on top of it, you get rid of the shiny object syndrome, and you like don't jump from business to business trying new things. No, you stick to one thing because the grass is now greener. It's maybe it is greener on the other side surface level, but that's because it's covered in shit. Both sides are covered in shit. There's shit. There's poop on both sides of you going on like maybe content creation, maybe freaking drop shipping if you're soulless. You can do so many things, even trading. I literally this morning I was like thinking about, okay, what if I learn how to trade? That's probably a high income skill. That's probably good. And at the same time, I'm still going to always stick to what I'm sticking with because like I just know if I stopped, then all of it would have been for nothing. Oh man, it's so weird. Like I can speak now, like it's like I'm not nervous to be in front of a camera, even though I know hundreds of people are gonna see the video. And it's so weird because I keep thinking like, okay, one more video, there's gonna be one more golden video that's gonna pop off and it's gonna do so freaking good. I'm 18 years old and I live with my mom. And while I don't live with my father is stressed. He has to work a job in which his boss doesn't like him, in which he doesn't even like his boss. And it's not even because of the fact that my dad is like a bad man. No, my dad is a good man with integrity. And he does his work good. He does good even when nobody's watching. And that's what I aim to be, of course, too. And the thing is, it's like, it's for a different reason. It's like, I will continue to provide. I will give value. I will always give the value. And it's so funny because it's not that I expect anything in return. It's that I wish that it was recognized. I give so much. And it's like, okay. With that being said, you might say, okay, well, this guy's freaking weird because he's like expecting so much of the world. I like to think of it as a kind of weird dichotomy. Sure, you can want something. You can be the very best and still not get it. And it's interesting because it's kind of like, I like to think about it with women. Now, I don't have a problem with women. In fact, I try to like refrain myself from like being around a lot of women because I know that can be like, damaging. And so I'm deciding to focus on myself right now. The thing is, I know I could probably get a girl anytime I wanted. And that's just like, maybe it's not true, but I believe it and it fuels my confidence, whatever. And also, it's like, I wish that I had that same attitude towards money because I see these guys, like, they're putting in so much work and they're, like, being, like, they're trying to get, like, a girlfriend or something like that. They're putting in so much work, and the thing is, it seems to escape them. It's really interesting. It's super interesting. I don't understand why that fully happens either because technically they're putting in so much work, but it's like the fact that they're trying to get it, it kind of escapes them. It's so weird. And I wonder with this kind of thing with money, it's like you can provide value, right, selflessly. And with that, you can still provide value selflessly and not even, like, you get nothing in return. And it's like, sure, yeah, I could like selflessly give for the rest of my life. And the thing is, I also have a family that I need to save. You could go that selfless route of like not having the online business and just go to the safe route and not actually try to do something with your life. You could. But then your son would be exactly like you. He would never take the risk. He would never have that inspiration. He would never have the inspiration, the belief that, oh, maybe it's actually, not even maybe, it's actually possible. Having that conviction that it's actually possible. And you know what? Your son, he'll probably like look for like, what? conviction from another man. And it's wild because don't you wish that that man that would have inspired him was you? So you could take the risks. Yeah, take as many risks as you want. Bet all your money on black. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. When I tell you, maybe this video is cope, but I built the body. I built the courage. The social skills, the speaking skills. And I'm pissed. Because it's been 3 fucking years. 3 years later. And I'm a brokey. In fact, that selflessness, I want to be so generous with my money because I don't really care about money. I don't care about money. I literally am just trying to get it, but I don't care about money. I literally want to make an impact on the world. I know that I want to be a good man. I know that I want to make my money clean, and I don't want to do shit like freaking like OnlyFans management or fucking drop shipping. Soulless. I don't want to do these things. I want to actually provide to my community and help my community, help the world, make an impact, change the way things are. And it's so weird because it feels like it's so easy to do the opposite. It's so easy. Like, I don't have a problem with working hard. I could be an engineer if I decided, and then literally just like work and sit down for hours. And I can say that because I literally would sit down for 12 hours every single day. All of my spare time when I was outside of school, but even when I went on like freaking spring break, 12 hours every single day building things that would just not amount to anything. And sure, you could say, yeah, you made the mistakes. Now you'll do better. Now you'll do better in the future. Yeah, sure, but I put my heart and soul into these things and they don't amount to much. And it's just like you could hear the world and you could say, okay, yeah, I'll bend to you. I'll like try to actually be better for you. But the thing is, at a point, it's kind of just like in women. It's like, no, I am actually good. I'm good. I am a good man and I work hard. And I actually, I sure, like maybe I shouldn't expect all of this from you. But the thing is, I'm being so good to you. I'm being so good to you that, you know what? It's just odd. Like maybe I should just be in a different world. It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't know. This is just some insight into how my brain works. Especially now that I'm 18. I've gone through, like, shit. Yeah, sure. There's people who've gone through worse than me. I will say that. But the pain was there. The pain is there. Especially the feeling of, like, almost lethargy, almost laziness because you feel like you're losing and still showing up to do the shit anyways. Literally, the other day, this is why I haven't like posted a video in fucking like 11 or 12 days. Literally the other day, my house was broken into. I've lived in this house for 10 years in this safe neighborhood, and then we had some issues with some guy, and now he's broken into our house and destroyed my mother's car. And my family feels unsafe. And I'm the one that feels like I'm like in an okay position, and I'm trying to make sure that they feel safe. And at the same time, in the back of my mind, in my heart, there is that goal, that dream. The way that woman, that beautiful woman looks at me with adoration because I can make her feel safe and provided for. And still have a fucking 10 out of 10 physique at that point too. This isn't arrogance. This is confidence. And when I say like I have so much to work on my physique, I have so much to work on my mindset, in my caring, in my actual empathy towards people. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I've lost some empathy towards people because I did not have that same empathy towards me. I have so many stories. So many stories. Imagine somebody, the person that you love, one of the most in the world, you tell them that that you've been having just thoughts about ending your life, and they tell you they don't love you. Imagine the pain of that. Imagine that time when you can't move. You're crying outside of a gas station at 2 a.m. You can't move your legs. Not because you're paraplegic, but because you're paralyzed by pain. And it's wild because in the morning when you wake up, you're like, okay, yeah, that happened. I'll still try to make the money. I'll still try to get to the 10K per month. Fuck. This journey is wild because it doesn't care about your emotions. It doesn't care about the shit that you're going to go through. And today I'm going to record a lot of my testosterone course. I wonder where I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm going to do it in this exact spot or if I'm going to do it outside. I mean, testosterone, it makes sense to do it outside because of sunlight. And looks apparently matter. You get it. You get it. For the guy that's watching this and he feels like he's stuck. He feels like he's solved so many different things in his life, but there's one thing in his life that seems to escape him. There's one thing that he's struggling to figure out, even though he should figure it out, because it is the type of man that he is, and it doesn't make sense for his identity to not have this solved, because it's part of him. How is he not going to have this solved if he is the man that has his shit unlocked? If he is the man that is locked in 365 days of the year and not just in fucking winter arc, summer arc, day. Shut the fuck up and lock in, because I don't understand how some of these guys actually they get successful because they're not even putting in the work. They're not even trying. They're doing stupid shit and they're postponing themselves, saying, no, I'm going to work on myself when this happens. I'm going to watch all of these videos. I am going to not take action on what I'm learning. It's tough. It's so damn tough. Because when you've gone through the shit, when you have been the best man that you could be to a girl who never loved you in the first place, that was just infatuated with you and loved the idea of you, when you've gone through the shit, when you have met the girl, made the promises to her, and kept your promises when she hasn't kept her promises, when you meet the girl and you give her your heart and soul, and then she moves on so quick, like it never mattered in the first place. When you made all those promises to her and you miss her, and you even when you were with her, you wanted to tell her your problems because you loved her, and she just didn't give a shit. When you've gone through that, when you've missed your father, when your parents have been divorced, when you've had to be the rock for your family when you were 8 years old. I'm pissed. October 10th is when I decided I was going to be an entrepreneur. I was going to make 10K per month. It was going to happen. And because I said it was going to happen, I've spoken it into existence. And the divide is there between me on this journey to becoming the 10K per month entrepreneur. Even now, that doesn't even sound like a big number. And it's crazy that I'm not even there. It's so weird. I don't understand why I wouldn't be there if I have the knowledge, I have the discipline, I have the expertise, I have the willpower to prove with countless times, all the times I wanted to quit, all the days I was tired and I woke up anyways, all the days that I failed, that I recommitted. I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel stupid. And I know I'm not fucking stupid. I want to help people. I want to be the man. It's like, sometimes it feels like the world isn't accepting of that. But it's weird. It feels like the world is so accepting of everything else other than the money. It's like if you're trying to be that man, you make more relationships because you're like more charismatic and you're showing more of your personality, and you actually end up being just a better person because you're actually feeling less autistically I don't want to talk to them because I'm nervous. Oh no. It's tough because you end up actually building the relationships, you actually build the body, and it seems to still, like, money seems to feel like it escapes you when there are people making 30K a day. It's so weird how such an insignificant little piece of paper has so much influence on so many other people's lives. And this is how I used to think of it. I used to think of it, or I still kind of think of it like this. It's like, okay, I don't care about money. Money feels insignificant. I don't really have a big inclination to buy things. So if I'm going to make money, I'm going to think of it as a system, not even a system, just as a points system to show how much value, how much impact and benefiting I'm giving to society. That's how I think of money. And the thing is, you can give so much and still be broke. Like, something doesn't connect, you know? It just doesn't connect. That's how it feels like in my brain. Because I know it's damn possible. I know it's possible. People making 30K per month even. 50K a month, $220,000 a month. And that kind of money seems impossible, but it's possible. People do this. They do this. And they do it like it's nothing. How can you be the guy that's putting in the effort, putting in the work, and doing it for so long, and not see any of the results? Like, I'm sure God is watching. Is he just waiting for you to chicken out? Is he just waiting for you to stop? Like, I don't know. I don't think so, because that feels cruel. Is he waiting for you to become the man that would be able to actually be capable of holding it? Is he not giving it to you because he's afraid of the kind of man that you'll become? Then how come? Even then, let's say you did lose yourself. There are men that were less deserving. Men who were worse men that made the money. And God wants us to be successful. He does. So I just don't understand why things why things don't just like work. Money is odd. It should be so simple, but it feels so difficult. Get a product, get people to buy the product. Make a good product. People talking about your product, you have advertising. It's wild. It really is wild. Anyways, that's a video from the heart, and I'm going to record my testosterone course. Yeah. This is probably going to go into my second channel where I don't really like filter the shit, where I just kind of post whatever I want, you know. Hope you enjoyed this video from the heart. Let's do one little pen flip with my eyes closed to prove I'm not a bitch. Alright.